Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David, and in this video I'm gonna show you an expansion for Talisman, being the Dragon. And unlike the previous expansions, this one is more on its own. It's not just a new location to explore or a new card deck to explore, but this one comes with 3 dragons which each have their own unique set of cards and a lot of tokens. There are 6 new characters in the box that you can play without the Dragon expansion. Also there's 1 alternate ending that you can play without the expansion, but also 2 endings that you need this expansion for. Plus we have a new board for the inner region, double-sided, the Dragon Realms and the Dragon Tower. So please let me show you how to play Talisman with the Dragon expansion. I will show you the new characters and the endings at the end of this video. Let's start with the setup. And that is after you did the normal setup for Talisman, you're gonna add the dragons. There are 3 dragons, Cadorus, Grilippus and Vartrax, and I will call them the green, red and gold dragon from now on. Each dragon has its own unique deck of cards that you put next to it. You shuffle, you draw open 1 card, in this case the yellow one, the gold one. This will be the Dragon King at the start of the game, but this will change during the game. So you put this crown token on it to indicate at this moment the gold dragon is the king, and the other 2 are not the king, but may become the king later in the game. Then there are a lot of tokens, and you have to put them in a bag or in a bowl so that you can draw a token without seeing what it is. It would be nice if they added a token bag with the game, but unfortunately you have to get one yourself. And also there are these slumber tokens that you put aside for now. Each dragon has 5 lives, so you can put the 5 life token on it. Although you don't need it until the end of the game when you're gonna fight one of the dragons to win this game. And then we're ready to play Talisman. Oh, and of course you put the dragon board with either side on the inner region of the board, but for now I will start with the dragons themselves. At the beginning of every player's turn, before you take your normal action, you will draw 1 token from the bag. There are 6 different tokens in the bag. 3 of them being the dragon skills of the 3 dragons. So we have a yellow skill, a red skill and a green skill. I keep calling it yellow, but it's gold. If you draw a dragon skill from the bag, you simply put it on the matching dragon card, in this case the green. The next player at the start of his turn might draw a red token, so we'll put the red skill on the red dragon's card. And here's the gold one that goes on the gold. So each player always draws 1 token before taking the turn. Once a dragon has 3 tokens on its card, that dragon is going to be the new Dragon King. So you move the crown from the current Dragon King onto the new Dragon King. 2 of the skills are removed, discarded. You don't put them back in the token pool, but you really discard them. And the 3rd and last token is put on the space where you are at that moment. So say this Dragon Rider was standing on the Sentinel and he draws the 3rd token on this. This token goes to the Sentinel location. And the next time a character enters a location where there's a dragon skill, that player gets to choose, or you encounter the location, drawing a card or encountering the card that's on the location, or you can choose to encounter the dragon skill. In that case you ignore everything that is written on the location, you just focus on the dragon skill. And when you want to encounter the dragon, you have to draw a card from the corresponding dragon deck. So in this case you will draw a card from the red dragon. I put them in the wrong position, excuse me. So you'll take the top card and you'll see what it is. In these decks they are a little different for each dragon, and you have to discover on your own what dragon is best to fight for you. You take the top card and you encounter it. If you don't win the encounter and it's an enemy, in this case a dragon, it will simply lay here waiting for another player. If you win the encounter, you get the trophy, but also you will get the dragon skill. And this is a good thing because a dragon skill helps you in 2 ways. And you can collect as many of them as you want from all 3 of the dragons. I said when you encounter this space you can choose to either encounter the dragon skill or the location. if the dragon skill is of the dragon that is current the Dragon King, you have no choice, but you must encounter the dragon skill and you cannot take the action from the location. And that can be a good thing if there's a dragon skill on the Black Knight. The location is blank, so you don't have to pay 1 gold or lose 1 life if you enter this location. But it also means if it's on maybe the chapel and you are a good person, you cannot heal because this location is blank. So when it's the current king of the dragon skill, you have to encounter that skill. If it's not from the current dragon, you can choose to either encounter the location or the dragon skill. And there are cards in this deck, enemies that say this dragon has strength 3 or craft 7, but if it's the Dragon King at the moment, it will get a +3. So maybe it's more safe to encounter the dragon skills that are not of the current Dragon King. But in each deck also are followers, events, items, the normal stuff. So returning to the tokens, we had the 3 dragon skills. You can also draw this token. Then you will discard this token and you will draw 2 new tokens. And you will draw those tokens one by one. If that's another one of this token, you will draw another 2 tokens. But this one gets discarded. You can also draw this Dragon Rage token, and also some cards will give you Dragon Rage or some events. Each dragon has its own Dragon Rage and it's mentioned on the bottom of the card. When you get the gold Dragon Rage, you have to discard one of your objects. If you don't have one, you have to lose 1 life. Vartrax lets you discard one of your followers. If you do not have one, you will lose a life. Or the Green Dragon's Rage will discard you one of your spells if you have so, otherwise lose 1 life. However, say you get the Red Dragon's Rage, but you have a Red Dragon Skill token, you can discard this token to evade the Dragon's Rage. So if you don't want to lose your follower or your life and you have this skill, you can say, well, I'll discard this skill and evade the rage. So that is one reason why it's nice to have those dragon skills. The other reason you want to have these dragon skills is that they give you a bonus when you're fighting an enemy from the corresponding color. Each token will give you a +1 on your attack. So with this red token, I will get a +1 on my attacks to all enemies on this red dragon deck. If you have 2 red tokens, you will get a +2, and so on and so on. And those are the 2 reasons you want to have these dragon's skills, to prevent you from the rage and to make you stronger against the enemies from that dragon. And finally, you can draw a dragon slumber token. In this case, you discard this token and you take this other slumber token, and you can put this token on any dragon in any region. That dragon will get a -3 on its attack, but it will always have a minimum of 1. If there's currently no dragon on the board, you can put it on an enemy of your choice. If there's also no enemy on the board, you simply discard this without using. So those are the 6 possible tokens you can draw from the token supply. And that is the main part of this expansion, drawing tokens that will first put dragon skills on the dragon cards. When there are 3 of them, that dragon becomes the new king, and it will drop a skill token on the board where you can encounter it, and then you're gonna draw cards from the encounter decks from the specific dragon, and then you can benefit from having those dragon skills. Then we have this new board, and of course you will put this matching with the Portal of Power. This works exactly the same as in the base game. You still need a talisman to enter the Crown of Command. However, the spaces on these are a little different, and most of them say you have to roll a die, or 2 or 3 die, but you have to add to the results 1 point for each token that is on each of the dragons. So the more tokens there are on these dragon cards, the harder these spaces are to encounter. Once a player reaches the Crown of Command, that player will have to fight the current Dragon King. So in this case it would be the red dragon. And those are all 3 a little different. Well, they have all 5 lives. But the gold dragon will fight with either strength 12 or craft 12. The red dragon will fight with strength 14 or craft 10. And the green dragon has a strength of 10 and a craft of 14. If you win the battle, you will remove 1 life from the dragon and immediately start a new battle. If you lose the battle, not only will you lose 1 life, but you will also suffer the rage from that dragon. And the player to remove the last life of the dragon is the winner of Talisman. Then there's also the other side of this board, and this is the Dragon's Tower. In this case, you don't need a talisman to enter the Crown of Command. and you will take the stairs all the way around until you're at the Crown of Command. And each location simply says draw 1, 2, 3 or even 4 cards. And the cards you draw are from the Dragon's King. After you have finished resolving the dragon cards, you get to move forward 1 space, plus an additional 1 for each enemy you have defeated this turn. However, if you are defeated in battle, you have to move back 1 space. And after the character ends its turn, all cards and tokens in the Dragon Tower are discarded. And so you try to make your way up to the Crown of Command to fight the King of the Dragons. Then we have 3 alternative endings. One you can play without the Dragon expansion, but it is the Dragon King you have to defeat. Also, this Dragon King has 5 lives, a strength and craft of 12. But once a player gets on this Dragon King, the player will roll a die at the beginning of each of his turns. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you have to discard a talisman. If you don't have a talisman, or don't have it anymore, you are killed and out of the game. If you roll a 3 or a 4, you're all gonna attack the Dragon King. Starting with you, you can make 1 attack, then the next player can make 1 attack, and so on and so on. So maybe when there's still 1 life left on this dragon and you miss your attack, the next player has a successful attack, then that player wins the game even when he's not on the Crown of Command. But if you roll a 5 or a 6, it is up to you, and you can start attacking the Dragon King. For each successful attack, you can immediately attack again, but if you have a standoff or are defeated, your turn ends. And when it's your turn again, you will have to roll that die again. And any moment there are no characters on the Dragon King, because maybe the player is eliminated, then the Dragon King will restore all his lives. Then there are 2 endings that cooperate with this expansion. When playing with the Dragon Slayer ending, you don't put 5 lives on each dragon, but 5 of the matching skills. Once a player is on the Crown of Command, you have to fight one of the 3 dragons that still has skills on them. And each time you defeat one of those dragons, you take off one of the skills and you keep them in front of you. And then you can attack again, or you can choose to return to the Portal of Power. And if you are defeated, you will not only lose your life, but also get the Dragon's Rage of the dragon you were attacking. If all 5 dragon skills have been taken from a Draconic Lord, this card is removed from the game, and when all Draconic Lords have been removed, then the player with the most dragon skills is the winner. So with this ending, you really want to try to collect as many skills as possible. And with the Domain of the Dragons, again you will draw 1 Draconic Lord at the beginning of the game, and you put this dragon card on the Crown of Command, and for the remainder of the game, so the entire game, this dragon is the King of the Dragons. Also, for the rest of the game, whenever a character draws an enemy with strength, immediately take the top card of the Red Dragons deck and you put it on top of the Adventure deck. Whenever a character draws an object, you will put a Gold Dragon card on top of the Adventure deck, and whenever a character draws an enemy with craft, you immediately take the top card from the Green Dragon and put that on top of the Encounter deck. And whenever a character kills an enemy from one of the dragon cards, he immediately may claim a matching dragon skill from the pool of the dragon tokens. However, whenever a character is instructed to draw a dragon token, you will suffer the Dragon Rage of the Dragon King instead. And once a player gets on the Crown of Command, you will have to encounter this Dragon King to win the game. So those are the 3 alternative endings you will get with this dragon expansion. And then there are 6 new characters to play with, and I will show you the 6 character cards, and you can pause the video so you can see what their special abilities are. Keep in mind they come unpainted out of the box. But that is what you will get with the dragon expansion. 3 Dragon Kings with each a unique deck that you will encounter to collect those dragon skills that will help you evading the Dragon's Rage, and they make you stronger for battling the enemies from the corresponding deck. If you have any questions about this expansion, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. My name is David, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.